Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another of my PlayStation 4 reviews. Today's review is for This is the Zodiac Speaking, a narrative heavy story based game that focuses heavily on the story of the Zodiac Killer from the 1970s. Now, before we get into the review, I just want to start off this review by giving a huge shout out to a channel that I've just recently connected with called The Critically Clueless. Now, this is a gaming channel, does a lot of gaming content, a lot of gaming reviews. I'm really enjoying watching their content, so I'm going to put a link in the video description for you guys to head over there, check out their content. If you like what you see, please support that channel and click on subscribe to it, and let them know in the comments that you've been sent over by Screen Stars. So thanks very much everybody, so head over there after this video and give them a watch. Right, so on to the review here for this game. This is the Zodiac Speaking. Now, I'm a big fan of chilled games, chilled out games, investigation type games. I really like that sort of thing. I like serial killer movies. I love the Zodiac film, the David Fincher film that was Robert Downey Jr. in it and other famous faces. Brilliant stuff. So I was right up for this game. It sounded really interesting to me. And like I say, it's story heavy. It's like a narrative game with some light puzzle solving involved. And you basically play a reporter, and it's set in the 70s, I believe, around the time of the Zodiac Killer. And you are essentially investigating the crime scenes of the Zodiac Killer. So you essentially go around, pick up clues, figure out what to do with them to move from one scene to the next, if you like. And some of these scenes are set in your own home, so you might have to do certain tasks in your own home to be able to move on to the next scene, which might be at your psychiatrist's office, and then the next scene, which might be a crime scene involving the Zodiac Killer. And you've got to piece all these clues together to move on from scene to scene, if that kind of makes sense. Now, all that sounds really good in theory, and for the most part it works, and it certainly only a couple of times early on was I kind of left scratching my head. Really, it didn't really take long to kind of figure out what you've got to do. It's got a pretty good idea. You've got like objectives in the menu that tells you what kind of clues you should be looking for, and piecing them together. The main problem here is you do find yourself wandering about aimlessly trying to find, I don't know, a key, for example, or something really random, and you're walking around in circles to find it. And you know, that doesn't make a game like this fun if you're just wandering around in circles looking for one particular object. It also doesn't help that the controls are a little bit wonky, I suppose. You kind of move around, and then you've got like a cursor on the screen where you will highlight things and then click on it, but sometimes it's really hard to get it in the right place to highlight these objects, to click on them, to put them in your inventory or whatever. It's pretty light on gameplay here, this game, to be perfectly honest. You'll touch things, you'll put it in your inventory, you might have to open your inventory to find a car key to start your car, or some clippers to clip a chain to get in a door, things like that. The best part of this game that I've enjoyed the most is you piecing together the crime scenes of the Zodiac Killer. And it's, if you've played the Arkham games, the Batman Arkham games, it's quite similar to that. You will find clues, depending on how many clues there are, 4, 5, 6 clues, to piece together the crime scene, and then you've got to put them in the right order, these clues, to piece the scene together. And I found that the most fun. Now, there's 2 modes to play in this game, and I've tried them both. One of them's called the serial killer mode, and that's basically, and they're both basically exactly the same game. The only real difference here is on the serial killer mode there is danger, and the Zodiac Killer will be at most of the crime scenes and you've got to avoid him. But that basically just means crouching down and avoiding his line of sight so he can't see you. So it's like a stealth thing that you do. The other mode is called story mode, where there's no danger, so you do exactly the same things except the Zodiac killer isn't there, isn't present, and there is no danger to you. You can just investigate without any real pressure, I suppose. So it's up to you. I mean, I tried the serial killer mode and it got really on my nerves after a while, because you're just crouching down trying to avoid the Zodiac killer, and most of the times the game's not intuitive enough to let you walk around the map really stealthily, so I kept getting caught. So I moved it on to story mode, and like I said, it's essentially the same game. It has got a really interesting art style, this game, I think. It looks quite unique. I'm not saying it's brilliant or anything like that, but it certainly looks different than most things I've seen. It almost looks like, you know, the This Is the Police cutscenes, you know, if you've ever played them games. I'm not even sure if it's from the same developers, if I'm perfectly honest. However, after several hours of playing this game, I got onto a section in the game that just wouldn't load in properly. You couldn't see what was happening in this scene, and the thing is, you need to be able to see everything clearly, because you need to find these clues to piece them together, and I could not load back in, and I was not prepared to start it from the beginning again. So essentially this game is broken, which is just the way it is, certainly for me. So it needs a couple of patches or something. That it just would not work the way I wanted it to work. I think many of you out there are going to find this a frustrating game to play. Games for the most part are supposed to be fun, and I'm sorry, but this game isn't a fun game to play. It's got some interesting ideas, some interesting mechanics, but ultimately, here you can see, this is what I loaded into, and you couldn't see what was going on. This was it. So really poor, you know. I mean, it's not an expensive game, granted, but you expect it to at least work, and it doesn't. It breaks from this level onwards, certainly for me, and I wasn't prepared to start it again. So for that reason, and for the other reason that I've mentioned, I'm going to have to give this one a 3 out of 10, unfortunately, because it just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It's not a fun game to play, even though there are some interesting ideas going on here. So a fairly harsh score, I know, but when you pay money for a game and it doesn't work, what else can you do?